Have you ever felt that your emotions lead you to trade worse than you know you're capable of? Well, in this video, I'm going to reveal the one habit anyone can use that stops traders tilting, and my easy to follow system you can use to get the same results as my clients who've already used it. And finally, we're going to run through one client example who used this exact system and cut his tilt by 80% in just 2 weeks. But first, what is this habit and how does it work? Years ago, there was a study on people who had habits they wanted to change. Some were overweight, some drank too much, some used too much social media. They interviewed these people who had a habit they wanted to change, and also a random set of people who didn't have the same problems. And they noticed something really interesting. In every category, there was one key difference between the people who had the problem and those who didn't. And that was awareness of their actions and how often they were actually happening. The overweight guys rarely weighed themselves and never counted calories. The guys who drank too much never kept count of how many units of alcohol they had each week. The guys who spent hours on social media never tracked their usage. So the researchers made one change. They asked everyone in the groups to track the behavior that they weren't happy with. If they were overweight, they tracked their weight and counted calories. Those who drank too much tracked units of alcohol, and social media users tracked the minutes on the platform. And what do you think happened just 3 months later? There was a massive change. Over 80% of the overweight people now had lost weight. The health of the drinkers had improved and they found they were drinking much less. And social media usage went down by 30%. Now, before, they knew they had a problem. So the awareness wasn't about having the problem, but by tracking the behavior in detail, their awareness and therefore their understanding of the problem increased tenfold. And because of that, it gave them options. They saw the patterns, and gaining this understanding allowed them to make different choices. So how do you apply this concept to tilt and trading? Well, the odds are you're problem aware, but that doesn't mean you're solution aware. Be honest for a second. How clear are you on your tilt triggers? Exactly when you're set off? How long does it last? What are the warning signals before you start trading poorly? This is actually a really good way of being your own mindset coach. Let me explain. As a coach, it's my job to ask questions. This is for me to better understand my clients' problems, but at the same time, by me asking those questions, they're also learning about their problems more deeply and from different angles. And as a result, they can often come up with answers of what to do next without me even giving any advice. When it works that way, it's kind of amazing. So here is your tilt tracker framework. Step 1, what to track. The trigger event, emotional intensity between 1 and 10, physical warning signs, and what you did next, and also any cost in terms of pounds or dollars. Step 2, when to track. Immediately, post-session, 2 minutes max, so it actually gets done. Step 3, the weekly review. Look at your top 2 repeating triggers after 10 sessions. If nothing pops out immediately, start journaling about it. I tilted today after X, it made me feel Y. Next time that happens, I'm going to do Z. It's a good starting point if nothing else comes up. This is a great way to deepen your understanding. Step 4, don't beat yourself up. You're not tracking to judge yourself. You're tracking to become aware of the problem and the solution. I had a client who was losing a lot to tilt. So I had him run through the exact system I just gave you. After 2 weeks, he came back and it was clear. 80% of his tilt came from trading straight after a stopped out winner. So we did some hypnotherapy. We found a memory of when he was asked to join a football team by a manager as a kid. But then a week later, another kid came to the school. The manager kicked off my client from the team and picked the other kid instead. That feeling of about to do something exciting like being on a football team, only to have someone else take that success, was exactly the feeling of being stopped out and then watching the trade go to target. Once he realized this, it was no longer a problem, and he just improved his tilt issue by 80% in 2 weeks. So now you have a system to stop tilting. The next step is to learn about the 3 ways to make more money trading so you can scale up and make big money. So watch this video next where I explain those 3 ways and how to improve them, and I'll see you there.